Majoring in the minors is sabotaging your progress. Um, so I've heard Justin Harris say this probably more than anyone else, but I've heard other people say it as well. I just want to make sure I give credit to Justin Harris because I think that he has given the best explanations for this than compared to anyone else who brings this up. He points out all the time how the guys who overanalyze things and the guys who are obsessive, their OCD over their training, their diet, whatever, um, they never make any progress. It's just the way it is. People obsess about the wrong things, they put so much time and energy into it, and then they miss the big things. That's what's happening there. Like, do you think Ronnie Coleman sat there and was like, which movement optimally works my front delt? No. Ronnie Coleman was like, I'm going to do delts. The whole delt. He wasn't like, which movement works my soleus versus which one works my gastroc? He was like, I'm doing calves. The whole calf. Like, all of it. Both. You know, which one of these works my lastus medialis? Just do the whole leg. Just do quads. You know? And so, like, it's like this funny thing. But spontaneously, I'm bringing this up, not so spontaneously, because there's a thread in one of the groups that I'm in. I don't use Facebook, but every once in a while I check my messages, and once in a while there'll be something that will pop up right at the very top of my news feed. And there are people who are obsessing over which movement works my front delt the best. And it was just one of those moments where I saw it and it just made me think immediately. I just thought of Justin Harris and I was like, yeah, which movement works my front delt the best? I don't know, dude. Why don't you do some bench presses and some overhead presses? Work the whole delt. Like, oh, well, I think an upright row will work my front delt the best. What? That doesn't even make sense. But this is not an isolated incident. I see this all the time. People are constantly obsessed over like, hey, which one works this part of my hamstring the best? And it's like, just do hamstrings. Like, do some deadlifts, do some RDLs, like, do a big movement and work the whole hamstring. And you'll see this in nutrition as well. People obsess over things that don't matter. In fact, actually, that's one of the things that drives me craziest is the way that people obsess over some minute detail and they're missing the big thing. It's like, well, which movement do I do to train my I don't know, vastus intermedius? And it's like, well, like, do you do squats? Oh no, I don't. I don't squat. Okay. Leg presses, hack squats, anything like that? No, I don't do that. Okay. Do you leg extensions? Oh no. Leg extensions are dangerous. It's bad for your ACL. What movements do you do? Like, you run into these weird things, man. And it gets the same for nutrition. I have people that are obsessed with like, well, how many grams of protein? And it's like, well, who gives a shit? You eat one meal a day. Like, you're telling me you want to get huge, but you fast for like 23 hours a day, and you're doing keto. Like, I feel like you're missing the easy stuff. The easy stuff would be for you just to eat protein and a carbohydrate with a fat source, just have a meal every 3 to 4 hours. That right there, boom. So you're going to make way more progress in one meal a day, one keto meal a day at that. And there's nothing wrong. If you're doing one keto meal a day and your goal is something like weight loss, longevity, lowering your HbA1c, lowering your fasting insulin, go for it. That's totally fine. Like, there are contexts where that could be optimal for you. But if you're telling me that your goal is to get as big as possible, I want to get jacked, and then you're like, I want to get so jacked, so I fast 23 hours a day. And it's like, wait a minute, wait, what? You're missing the big stuff. The big stuff would be for you just to get any protein source at all, any carb source at all, and make sure there's some fat in it. So choose ground beef, and there, boom, you got your protein and your fat. Add a carb source. Eat that 4 to 5 times a day. You know, stop this thing of fasting for 23 hours a day and then eating some super low carb meal. Like, you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain to you that these minor details, they can matter. They can. But they only matter after you get the big stuff in place. Um, Same thing for like, how do I train my front delt? It's like, dude, you don't have arms anyways. Like, it's one thing for a pro bodybuilder who's about to step on the stage for the Olympia, who already has a huge amount of muscle mass in the first place, to be like, you know what? I want to make sure that my delts really pop. And so I'm going to train my rear delt so that I have this great side pose or whatever. But he already has huge delts in the first place, so he's just putting the finishing touches on. Dude, you're 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. Like, just put any mass on, it'll look better. You know, and so people are missing, they're missing the big picture because they're majoring in the minors. They're obsessed about these tiny little details. Another thing I'll credit Justin with is that you'll notice amateurs sit around, this is true, I've heard this repeatedly, and actually this is weird to me. Amateurs sit around and obsess over, oh, what should your cycle be? As if different drugs have magical effects. I'm sorry, they don't. Choose a testosterone, a DHT, and a 19-nor. Boom. Like, there aren't that many of them. So you'll notice the pros don't discuss this. The pros are more like, how do I eat more food? That's what they try to figure out. The pros are like, how do I get more food down? They're not sitting there going like, well, I think, you know, Deca is a better 19-nor than Tren. And I think, you know, Primboalon is superior to Masteron or something like that. They don't sit down and obsess about that. They figure out whichever one works for them. They take as much of it as they can. And then they sit around and figure out, how do I eat even more food? How do I train more? You know, I'm doing 2 a day. Is there a way that I can get 3 a day? Or I can only train for about 90 minutes before my strength drops off. Is there a way that I can train for, 120 minutes? That's the kind of things that those guys are obsessed with. Those guys are not obsessed over like, well, 10 milligrams of Anavar versus, 10 milligrams of Turinabol. But no, they're not doing that. They're just like, how do I eat more? How do I train more? They're majoring in the majors. They're focused on the big rocks, right? And the same thing's true, like even in sport. It used to drive me nuts. I coached hockey. That was the first thing I ever coached. Before becoming a strength and conditioning coach, which only happened by accident, I coached hockey. And it was like, you get into these conversations over dumb stuff. People are like, oh, well, Mario Lemieux scored a goal whenever he put his stick between his legs and shot the puck from behind him. So Sias would spend like a fucking hour practicing that shot. It's like, dude, that's never going to happen in a game. Like, that's a once in a... Mario Lemieux did that once in his entire fucking career. Why are you practicing that? Why are you practicing that? Why? Give me one good reason. It's like, what was it? I'm trying to think of his name. Mike Legg. He scored a goal from behind the net. This is college hockey. He like scooped the puck up onto his stick and then flung it into the net from behind the net, like a lacrosse stick style. Sure enough, he did that, and everyone started practicing it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I gotta practice this. That is a once-in-a-career goal. Now, it's great that he was able to do that, but why are you spending your time practicing that? You should be standing at the point, just unloading slap shots, and making sure you put every single one of them on target. I mean, let me tell you my secret. My secret, okay? I'm going to give it away for free. And I realize this is only relevant to any hockey players that follow me, but you can take this concept and apply it to anything. I started noticing that the majority of the time I got a shot, not from the slot. Everyone's like, oh, go to the high slot. Fuck the high slot. I got my shots from some weird angle that's roughly about 45 to 60 degrees off of the net. So I spent my time practicing shots from about 45 degrees off the net. Now, did I score on every shot? No, I didn't. In fact, actually, if you went and looked at my shooting record, right, I probably shot 1,000 pucks for every single time that one went in on easy. But you know where the goals did come from? I put the puck on target, right? So I shot, and I at the net, and the goalie gave up a rebound. And that's where the goal came from. My first shot rarely went in. I don't know what the numbers actually are, but I'm sure they're abysmal. My first shot rarely went in. If I had a clear shot and I took it, goalie probably made a save. But odds are he gave up a rebound. And those rebounds, well, that's what mattered. So either I picked up the rebound and just banged it in, or someone else picked up the rebound and just banged it in. But regardless, that would not happen if I didn't put the shot on goal. So if I miss the net entirely and it goes past the net, there's no rebound. Okay. Now, I'm sharing that because I'm pointing out that the big rock was making sure you're putting shots on goal, not practicing some weird lacrosse move from behind the net, or putting your stick between your legs and shooting with your stick behind you. Like, that's rare. I'm sorry I have to use hockey analogies, but that's my sport. I'm sure there are some people out there who could probably give you baseball and football analogies, but I don't have those for you because I don't have experience with weird things like that. I don't mean that football and baseball are weird. I mean like the weird moments where someone did something that was unorthodox. That's what I'm referring to as weird. So similarly, we look at diet and training and stuff like that, and it's like, instead of you obsessing over this weird little thing like, oh, well, if I turn my thumb this way whenever I do a curl, it activates more of my brachial, blah, 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 just do a goddamn hammer curl. Just pick up the heaviest dumbbell you can properly hammer curl. Don't sit there swinging it to your shoulder. That's not a hammer curl anymore. Do the heaviest hammer curl that you can, and then, oh yeah, pick up a heavier one, and then do another hammer curl. And maybe do some regular curls, do some barbell curls. Like, if you want to do curls. But like, oh, this trick, I put my thumb this way, and it changes everything, because no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're 6 feet tall, and you weigh 150 pounds. No one's going to notice. And so people are missing the big rocks. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean that for everything, though. Whether it's the training, this the diet. Shit, you sleep 4 hours a night. That's free. You don't have to go out and buy supplements or anything. You sleep 4 hours a night. Get 6 hours of sleep. You get 6 hours of sleep, get 8. You get 8 hours of sleep, get 9, 10. Sleep. Like, it doesn't even cost you anything. Turn the TV off. What is possibly... I don't watch TV, but if I did, I can't imagine there's anything on TV that is worth me losing sleep over. Is there anything that important that I can't just, I don't know, watch it on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something? I don't know. I'm unaware of what TV shows are on, but I assume you can get practically everything streaming these days. So, like, do you really need to stay up to watch this? Or can you just watch it later on Netflix whenever it's a convenient time? You're going to stay up, cut into your sleep, and then tell me all about how I can't recover between workouts. What supplement can I take? Have you tried sleeping? Have you tried turning the TV off? Radical concept. And like, I know, like, everyone knows this shit already. Like, you already know. Like, train hard, eat a lot of food, sleep. That's it. And no, there is no drug that's going to bypass that. There's no amount, I don't give a shit. There's no amount of trend that you can take that will make up for not eating. There isn't. Like, oh, I want to get huge. I'm going to eat 1,800 calories a day, but I'm going to take 3 grams a week of some androgen. And it's like, dude, you're still eating 1,800 calories a day. Like, where do you think the growth is going to come from? Like, if you don't put food into the system, like, where are you going to grow from? So, people obsess over the wrong things, and I can't believe how often I see people just completely sabotage themselves because they're obsessed about some minor detail. Should I take 2 grams of citrulline or 4 grams of citrulline before my workout? It's like, did you eat a meal before your workout? No. Should I? Well, that would be the first place to start. Are you hydrated? Oh, well, I had a coffee this morning. And? It's 3 p.m. You've had 1 cup of coffee? Yeah. Maybe try some water? I don't know. Seems like a good place to start. Like, what if I miss my post-workout window? What post-workout window? Oh, you gotta drink a shake right afterwards. I didn't bring a shake with me today. I can't train. It's like, What? You know, but I swear to you, I've heard that one. If you haven't heard that one, you haven't been coaching long enough. People will tell you, I can't train today, coach. Why? Oh, I forgot my protein shake. Dude. But I have heard that one more than a few times. That one actually really annoys me. Not because protein shake isn't great. You should have a protein shake. Have a protein shake. But for God's sake, if that's your reason for not training, I mean, wow. That's the wrong mentality. People are picking up, pennies, and they're stepping over dollars. So, anyways, that's the long and short on this. I don't know what else I can share with you other than to say that, whenever Stan Efferding points out, if you're taking creatine but you're not getting enough salt, you're screwing up. It's like, yes. Justin Harris is over there telling people, like, yeah, if you're obsessed about, this many micronutrients of this, but you're not eating meat and rice for every meal, like, yeah, you're missing something. It's like, yes, like, these big things matter way more. And for some odd reason, people don't want to do them. I guess they're not sexy, right? If I could put it in a bottle and sell it to you as a pill, then you would do it. But, I don't know. People seem to have this belief that if it didn't cost them money, or, I don't know, it didn't cost them additional money, I guess, somehow it isn't as effective. So, buy this supplement. It's way more effective than sleeping. Okay? I guess. So, anyways, if you guys like the video, like the video. If you have an opinion, comment below. If you think I'm totally wrong and that you really do need to have exactly 1.7 grams of creatine before your workout, or else you can't train, please let me know why. Let me know why you need exactly 4.2 grams of citrulline and 3.6 grams of beta alanine, or else you can't train. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear why fasting for 23 hours a day is a good way to build mass. Let me know if you guys have an opinion on those things. And certainly, you wouldn't want to eat food whenever you can buy mass gainer shakes. So, anyways, I love you all. I hope this helps someone. I hope that there's someone out there that hears this message and goes, oh, yeah, okay, I can do that, and they actually implement it and make some progress. I'd love that. So thanks so much for your time. You guys be sure to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and we'll see you around.